Hey everyone. So I am Latanya. I have no idea what I'm going to name this channel. I have no idea. This is all like so new to me. I am starting an Authortube channel. So I finally had the nerve to come on here and actually do a video. So I am what many people would call like a silent lurker. So you don't know me, but I know you. That sounded less creepy in my head than just now. But I am that person that definitely is very much into the Authortube channels. I always in the lives, writing vlogs. I'm watching everything and I never comment. I'm that person. And there's got to be more than just me. There's got to be other people out there who do the same thing. I don't know. If you are, then totally hit me up in the comments and let me know. I can't be the only one. I've never had the nerve to, do my own videos, my own channel, and it's my birthday today. Hey, it's my birthday. So I figured it's the best time as any to start it. Why not start something new? It's another year around the sun. I'm doing it. Let's do this. So just a little bit about me. I write mostly speculative fiction. I am currently in the process of getting beta reader feedback. I'm waiting. I'm hoping it comes in soon. Beta reader feedback on my young adult dark urban fantasy novel. We're nicknaming it Project Heart. It's about a 17-year-old coming of age witch who, on the night of her blood moon ceremony to become high priestess of her coven, finds out that her sister only has 1 week left to live. So very, witchy vibes. It's totally me. As I'm talking, I'm realizing that I have bats still on my wall. But hey, that's how we do it in this house. It's just Halloween is a constant in these walls. So just work with me here. So I definitely write fantasy mostly. I do, I could say fantasy mostly, but honestly, I delve into science fiction. So I am one of those authors that has a ton of ideas, and I've had these ideas in my head for years, and I'm finally slowly inching into actually getting them down on paper. So Project Heart has been something I've been working on for over 2 years. And then I didn't really get serious about it until the last year and a half, I'd say. But it is done. It is set to be, I'm not sure if it's a duology or a possible trilogy. And it's like one of those things, like I've been working with like the query letter and getting help with that, and like getting, critique partners for that, and like I have no idea what the heck to put in there. Duology, trilogy, standalone with series potential. Like honestly, that just sounds a little not true, so we'll see what I end up putting in there. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and introduce myself, kind of see if I could get the nerve to actually be on one of my favorite things, which is Authortube. I don't really, I feel like I wanted to come on here because I don't, everybody could say, oh, I don't really see people with my same circumstances. And I think everybody has different circumstances. But I do feel in a way like I am a little, I don't see people like, for me, I have a daughter. I have a 6-year-old. It's just me and her. And I work full time, and I'm trying to write of course it's the aspiring author journey, wanting to write full time, but I am very realistic. I live in the Bay Area of California, and people, seriously, living full time off an author salary is most likely not the realistic thing. I mean, it's the dream. Don't get me wrong. It is the dream. I will continue dreaming and striving for that dream no matter what. But I know I still got to do my day job, okay? If I want the security and I want to take care of my baby and take care of myself and have the things that I want and do the things that we do, your girl's going to have to keep working. So, the dream is definitely full-time author, New York Times bestseller, you know, all the shebang. But who knows what that will be. But I definitely have full, you know, I've felt like some of the stories that I've had, some of them I've had in my head for like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna age myself a little bit here, 10 to 20 years. So it's time. If they've stuck with me for that long, if they have stuck with me for that long, then they deserve to be put on paper and they deserve to have other people see them, because dang, you're gonna, you know, that's a long time. That's a long time. We're talking decades here. So I am currently working on Project Heart. I have other whips? Sorry, I'm losing my words here. Typical, right? Whips that I've been working on over the years. But this has been the one that has stuck with me the most recently. And so it's the one that I feel most passionate about currently. I've worked with writing coaches, critique partners. Like I said, I'm a silent lurker, but I do take referrals off of other author-tubers and utilize those critique services and stuff like that. So like, you know, I've incorporated using from Lynn's channel, Lynn Jung. I used she did mentioned a critique partner that she uses for query critiques and synopsis critiques, and that's Eunice. I'll put her link in the description, but you can use Lynn. I believe she has a code that you can use. And Eunice has been great for me, like helping me with my query and synopsis, because synopsis is the hardest thing for me. I don't know why. I think that's kind of the census, is that synopses are difficult, but it's definitely difficult for me. That is not my forte. But yeah, she's helped me a lot. I've utilized some other critique services and things like that. So I've gotten a lot of help with this book. You know, I took some creative writing classes in college, and that is the extent of it. So just a little background on me. I started writing, this is like an all over the place kind of like video, but just bear with me. I started writing when like very young age. I know people always say that. They're like, oh, I can't even remember when I started writing. It was like since I could walk. It wasn't like that. I did used to write though, like before I could even write actual words. I would be over there in my tent journaling and like get all excited when I would like accidentally make an E or an A, and it would like look good, and I'd be like, Mom, check this out. You know, that was like my forte into writing. But my first novel, my first poem was actually published in like you know, for the schools. I don't even, like an anthology. And I remember it was my first poem I'd ever written in the first grade. And I didn't even know that it was being submitted. It's like, you know, that was a long time ago, first grade. But I won first place. And I remember being in the gymnasium, like getting up, being called up, and like getting a first place ribbon and being like, going home and being like, Mom, I don't even know what this is for. I don't even know why I got this. Like, I don't do sports or anything. Like, why do I have what did I get first place for? And I come to find out it's because my poem. So it started ever since then. And of course I was the total rebellious one. Like everybody when I was growing up would be like, oh, you know, Tanya's gonna be a writer, you know, my family and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't want to be a writer. Like I want to work, you know, I want to be a marine biologist. And so your girl went through the whole phases. Okay. If there is a professional student, I can claim, I have no imposter syndrome claiming that title. I am retired professional student. I'm a professional student. I did all the classes. All the classes. I did all the programs. I collected the degrees and certifications, you know, call it Black excellence, call it what you will, but I did it. I did it all, trying to figure out what the heck I wanted to do with myself. And I've had, you know, it seems like lifetimes ago, but I've gone through the different career paths, the different jobs. And here I am trying to go into a new one. And you know what? That is totally fine. If you want to change your career, I am here to tell you, doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter who you are, what your circumstances are, if you are passionate enough about it, you can change you can, as they say in A Knight's Tale, you can change your stars, okay? You can change your career, you can change your mind. Nothing is set in stone. Don't let anybody tell you anything, because if anything, like, I have proven that to showing myself, like, just going through it. I mean, yeah, I racked up a lot of student loan debt. I'm not saying you won't, especially in this day and age. But yeah, I've definitely gone through, and I was the type that took the long route with many detours about figuring out who I am, what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be, you know, things like that. And it definitely, I wouldn't be who I am today without going through all of those detours and that path. I would definitely probably do it a little differently, but at the same time, maybe not, because I am who I am because of it. But now, you know, I came full circle. I started off writing and then changing my mind and being like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go in the sciences and, you know, do all these different things. And then I'm coming full circle to writing again. So it just goes to show you, when you're young and you're a kid and you have these ideas, this unfiltered imagination, that is who you truly are. We are just changed by society and perceptions that people put on us, and to what we think we should do or should be or should accomplish. And really, you know since you were a kid, you know who you are, you know who you want to be, you know what your talents are. We just kind of forget that as we get older, and it takes a while sometimes to come back and see who you are, to find yourself again, you know, after finding a place in the world and finding your place, and then having to come back to your inner self, your inner compass, as I call it. So that was totally digressing, but I am doing my full circle, coming back to who I am, and that is writing. It's something I am so passionate about. And the reason I say I'm so passionate about that is because I bust my butt hours after hours rewriting these characters and these stories, and revising, and draft after draft after draft for free at this point. Like, you know, who does that? People who are passionate about something, people who really love something. So as much as, you know, writing, it's a double-edged sword sometimes. Sometimes I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy. But at the end of the day, it's what I love, and I come back to it all the time. So that's kind of me. That's my bit. I definitely want to try to start doing videos and get a YouTube channel. See, it makes me nervous. I'm already fidgeting, just the idea of it. But it's something that I wanted to do, is come on YouTube for a very long time and be a part of this community, because I do not have author friends whatsoever. Writer friends, you know, I'm very introverted, and I think that's a big thing for me to even come on here, but I don't tell anybody. Like, family knows, but I've just recently told my best friend, like in the last year, that I write. She had no idea. So I'm very, it's a big step for me. So be nice, please be nice. But, you know, I definitely want to be more involved in the writer community, because I love it so much, and it's helped me so much in the progression that I've made writing. I owe a lot to Authortube. So, that's me. I hope to see you guys soon and make more videos and be here And yeah, we can just hang out and talk more about writing. All right, you guys.